to Xcel Outdoors. This is our episode 1 of season 1. Thanks for tuning in. We've got a great show planned for today. Brian Ashelman will be with us. Brian is a competitive bass angler, a good friend of mine. We've done some work with him in the past. He's going to be talking about conventional gear for early season bass. It can be smallmouth as well. And right now in the Midwest, everything's about 2 to 3 weeks ahead. Smallies are on their beds already. Largemouth are moving in. And so we want to be able to share with you guys some of those techniques and gear that we like to use to chase those bass. The purpose of Xcel Outdoors is to provide you guys with a monthly episode, kind of a web update with different focuses on fishing, hunting, adventure that we do here in the Midwest and across the country, gear reviews, things like that, to give you guys as sportsmen some knowledge to apply to whatever you like to do outside. So enjoy this episode. All right, welcome back to Xcel Outdoors. Today we've got Brian Ashelman with us. Thanks, Brian, for hanging out with us today.
No problem.
Share with us a little bit about what you like to use for early season bass. A lot of guys are getting excited, getting their boats in the water. I know for you, having a long winter, it's good to get the lures wet and the rods bent a little bit. So let's kind of start, with what you enjoy fishing right away, early season.
So early season, when the water temps are coming out of the 40s into the 50s, my go-to bait right away is a tube. Sometimes you can rig it Texas rigged. I'll just rig it conventional,
okay,
with the hook exposed, with an 1/8 ounce to a 1/4 ounce lead jig head,
okay,
and just slow roll it across the bottom. Those fish are in that transferring up to the shallows for spawning.
Right.
I just cast this out and just slow move it across the rocks.
That's great. So based on water depth, you're changing the weight of that ounce, weight of that jig,
and then try to match the color.
And you're looking for feel on that, bumps, hard hits. That's kind of your indication of fish is on, huh?
Yep.
That's great. And with that rig, what are you doing with your line? What kind of pound test are you fishing with?
So this I got just 8 pound test. You can do 8 to 10. On spinning rods, I usually fish about 8 pound test.
Okay.
The lightest I can get away with for the feel, and then just still horse the fish in. But just about 8 pound test. Throw it out there, let it hit the bottom, and then just slow move it. Feel rocks, anything, cover. You can hop it a little bit, and just you'll feel when it hit bite.
Now, is that olive kind of your preferred color, or do you fish any sort of pumpkin, orange, darker colors, anything like that?
When it's early spring time, I usually fish more like a brown crawfish kind of color.
Right.
The crawfish are more out there in the spring.
Yeah.
And then when it gets to more, when the water gets, when it's clear, I want lighter colors.
Mm-hmm.
Also fish like a green pumpkin, a brownish color.
Yeah.
But these 2 colors are mostly my go-to colors.
That's great. All right, what else do we got here on the table?
Also for cold water, jerk bait's really good. It's a suspending jerk bait. Just cast it along, and I just kind of feel what the fish want. 1 or 2 twitches, let that jerk bait really dart. Sometimes they want 3, sometimes they want just you to hit it once and just really let it kind of suspend back up, and then hit it again and let it dive and jerk. So this is Kevin Van Dam. It's his 3 series jerk bait. It's a larger size. Sometimes they want a smaller size.
Okay.
So it kind of fit in between there. Early spring, it's going to be clear water, so try to find like a perch color, a bluegill color, something a lighter color that'll blend in. You can almost fish like a pearl white.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, and it seems that bass, as water temperatures warm, they get more aggressive.
Yep.
So action and movement is essential.
Yep.
Even in the fly world, what I'm familiar with, that's definitely true, and it crosses over into conventional.
So cold water, you really want something that they have time to react to it. A tube, it's going to sit in front of their face for a while. The water is going to flutter the tentacles.
Right.
A jerkbait, you can suspend it and really let it kind of float in front of their face. And even like a spinner bait is good too with the flash. And you can roll it really slow and kind of roll along the bottom.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go with anything too aggressive here in the early season.
Got it. All right, and lastly, what do we have there? It looks like some sort of spinner.
It's a spinner bait.
Spinner bait, okay. And early season, the fish are moving towards their beds, kind of that pre-spawn. Yeah. Females are putting on the feed bag. Yeah. Do you use that as kind of an attractor pattern?
Yeah,
or
more
just
a search bait, just
alert?
to kind of see if there's, where the fish are in the areas. You can play with the water depths. You can go out in that 10 foot to 12 foot to even deeper.
Yeah.
And then you can come up, so you can cast this wide range, and you can start shallow and then slow roll it to the deeper, and then you can kind of see where those fish are on that transition point, and then you can slow down a little bit and fish a tube in that transition depth.
Absolutely. Well, that's great, Brian. Thanks for being on the show with us today. And
Anytime.
in our next segment, we're actually going to be out on the lake with Brian. He's going to show us how we actually fish these in real time. We want to be able to provide that knowledge for you guys. So thanks again for tuning in.
Welcome back, everybody, to Xcel Outdoors. We're on the water right now. Got a jerkbait in hand, a soft plastic fluke. We're going to catch some fish. That's a good one, AJ. Yeah, that's a good one. Come on, open your mouth. He's got a frog in his mouth.
He's got a frog. Let's take a look at that. I'm going to zoom in real quick here. For people who don't believe that bass are mass predators, that's a great example right there. A full frog in his mouth. Excellent. So he ate even with a frog halfway down his throat. That's great.
He was still hungry.
Good work, Brian.
Mister. So I'm just casting this out. Cast. And then I'm just doing slight jerk, pause it, reel up the slack,